Bringing color, character, and caricatures to Quito, this is undoubtedly one of the longest art projects in history. By that, we don't just mean it took a long time to complete, though Ecuadorian painter Franz del Castillo says his team did work on it for 2 months, drawing for an average of 11 hours per day. But when it was unrolled last week in the Ecuadorian capital, its physical length stretched and stretched for almost 2 miles, and it featured everything from the faces of political leaders to everyday people to landmarks you'll only see in the South American country. Castillo says he just drew everything that came to mind, and those who came to see it said they were impressed by how the entire city of Quito, along with Ecuador's highlands, rainforest, coast, and Galapagos, were represented in the ambitious project. It's something they had to take a long walk to fully appreciate. Hi, I'm Carl Azus. Thank you for starting off the week with the world from A to Z. Up next, a mystery at sea. For centuries, there have been sporadic reports from sailors in remote parts of the world that the water around them appeared in a way they'd never seen before. Most of the sightings have been in the Arabian Sea or in the Indian Ocean waters near Southeast Asia. The phenomenon happened at night. Its color has been compared to the glow-in-the-dark stars that kids stick on the ceilings of their rooms, and it's been described as milky seas, when the ocean takes on an opaque green glow that's brighter than the sky above. Those who've seen it say the water is bright enough to read by. It can stretch for thousands of miles, extending as far as sailors can see. Scientists don't doubt its existence. It's been well documented, and satellite imagery has confirmed that milky seas occur. What's unknown is what causes it. Some theorize it's a highly concentrated type of bacteria that gives the ocean a green glow. It could be that when these bacteria are somehow stirred up to the surface, milky seas result. But at this point, there are more questions than answers. So researchers at Colorado State University have put together a database of sightings that have taken place over the last 4 centuries. The hope is that the compiled information will help scientists predict when and where milky seas will next appear so they can get there, gather evidence, and answer questions that have sailed around for generations.
Word and out. Which of these historic figures was a lexicographer? James Webb, Louis Daguerre, George Merriam, Noah Webster. A lexicographer compiles dictionaries, and while George Merriam and his brother published them, Noah Webster was a lexicographer who wrote them.
On this date in world history, Father of American Scholarship and Education is quite a title, but that's what many historians call Noah Webster, an American lexicographer whose dictionary was published on this date in 1828. It was called an American Dictionary of the English Language. April 14th, 1865 went down as an infamous date in U.S. history. President Abraham Lincoln was fatally shot while attending a play at Ford's Theater in Washington, D.C. His attacker, an actor named John Wilkes Booth, thought he was helping the South in the Civil War, which was winding down at the time. He escaped the scene but was cornered and killed less than 2 weeks later. President Lincoln died on April 15th. By this date in 1935, the U.S. High Plains had endured years of drought and dust storms that coincided with the Great Depression. But April 14th saw a massive blanket of black dust with high winds descend and then sweep to the East Coast. The day known as Black Sunday was blamed on both dry weather and bad soil management, and the term Dust Bowl was first used the next day to describe the plains.
It's found in foods like cakes, ice cream, and many other sweet treats. But added sugar is also found in things you drink, and experts say consuming too much sugar is a big problem in the U.S.
Most of that sugar doesn't come from what we eat, it's in what we drink.
In the U.S., adults and young adults ingest about 17 teaspoons of added sugar on an average day. That's more than 2 to 3 times the recommended daily allowance. Besides the extra calories, recent research reveals even one serving of sugary drinks a day can put you at higher risk for heart disease, says Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
It's no surprise that the American Heart Association recommends water as the best thing to drink throughout the day.
Drinks that contain a lot of sugar include sodas, sports drinks, energy drinks, and fruit-flavored beverages. So how can you help yourself opt for water instead? Gupta says to try carrying a water bottle with you at all times for easy access. And to stay hydrated, make sure you drink before you feel thirsty.
Want to make it more appealing? Try adding slices of fruit for flavor or a splash of 100% juice. Put that in plain sparkling water.
I'm Andy Gaither.
For baby girls, Amelia, Charlotte, Emma, and Olivia have been 4 of the most popular names this decade. For baby boys, it's Elijah, Liam, Noah, and Oliver. There are a number of factors that influence the popularity of baby names over time, and even parents who want to try something different are among a group of others who are looking to do the same thing.
Know anyone with the name James, Mary, Michael, Patricia, Robert, or Jennifer? Chances are you do. Probably several people, because those are the most common names in the United States in the last 100 years. They've topped the charts for years, but there's always a few new trendy baby names on the rise. Before the 1960s, most Americans were given family names, but since then, non-family names have risen significantly. Some speculate that television sparked the change by exposing people to more names. Today, many people want to give their children uncommon names. Names are a way to show individuality, but for all the effort, most baby names probably aren't as unique as parents hope. As moms and dads try to branch off from common names, they often end up following similar paths, and often choose the same or similar uncommon names. Part of that is because of generational culture. Americans from the same generation often experience life similarly, growing up around the same current events, pop culture trends, and religious movements. So the familiarity someone is drawn to is rarely familiar just to them. And many parents opt to revive old baby names, typically reaching back by about 100 years. Once out of fashion names like Amelia, Oliver, and Charlotte have made a comeback in recent years. And now, names that were once uncommon old soul names are pretty commonplace. But even the names people create aren't that unique. Most of the time, it's an existing name, often a family name, that is tweaked slightly. Take the name Jason. In the 70s and 80s, the name was extremely popular. A little too popular. So, by the 90s, the name was quickly falling out of fashion. But names ending with the sun sound rose all around the country. In fact, since the 70s, the variation at the end of the most popular boy names has shrunk significantly. It's shrunk marginally for girls, too. But parents' desire to create distinctive names isn't going anywhere. Although people tend to change and think up names in the same or similar directions, over time, names are no doubt becoming more unique. Whether that's the actual name, or even if it's just how it's spelled.
If you're rolling through Pennsylvania, you're rolling through the Keystone State, and that's where we found Garnet Valley Middle School. Mrs. Keenan's class is in the home of the Jaguars. Hello to everyone in Glen Mills. Next to Neely, Nebraska, the Cornhusker State. We're making a stop at Neely Oakdale Public School. The Warriors are watching in Mr. Mooney's class. And watch out for the Panthers. That's the mascot of Northwood High School. Great to see the students and teachers there in Saltville, Virginia, the Old Dominion. Finally today, the southern staple of grits took center stage at a recent event in Warwick, a small town in the state of Georgia. It's the National Grits Festival. The annual springtime event dates back to 2003. It features a cook-off, a corn shelling contest by hand, and an event that's tough to explain but definitely requires participants to be really and literally into grits. Warwick's mayor says the festival is the biggest, greatest thing for her city. Now, if you're thinking, shucks, it's amazing how corny that seems, there's more than a grain of a kernel of truth that it gives participants with good ears and true grit worthy cause to celebrate. It sets a sweet vegetable with plenty of feed and plenty of pop and helps them grow together in perfect harmony. I'm Carl Azus. We got a grit going today, but thank you for watching the world from A to Z.